School, the home of the Big Blue, where tonight ICRC-TV Sports is pleased to present coverage of OHSAA boys varsity basketball. Tonight, the Princeton Vikings are taking on the Lakota West Firebirds. Hello, everyone. I'm Glenn Olson. I'm joined courtside by Mike Lorienti. Mike, we have a couple of GMC foes who met twice in the regular season, squaring off to keep their season alive here, and the winner will move on to districts.
Yeah, Glenn, to say they're evenly matched is an understatement. They both won on the opposing team's court. Princeton won at Lakota West 81. I'm sorry, they won 81-76, and they lost 82-77. So this is as evenly matched as you're going to get between two teams. And to your point, this is the third time they're playing with a heck of a lot on the line tonight.
Yeah, and talk about consistent in both of those regular season games. Julian Mackey of Lakota West had 27 points. You know, the regular season win back in December, yeah, it was 11 of 12 from the free throw line. But then you look at what happened on January 24th at Princeton. Mackey went ice cold beyond the arc, just 1 of 9. So I think the difference may come down into who can get hot from the field and who can rebound the basketball.
Well, chances are we're going to be calling Mackey's name a lot tonight. He leads the GMC in scoring with almost 22 points per game. So to say Lakota West is going to go as he goes, so a lot riding on his shoulders tonight. But as we look at the playoff games coming into tonight, Princeton's won both of their games convincingly, and Lakota West had a little close one at Mason, but ended up winning by 8. But these two teams come in very hot, obviously winning both their postseason games.
Lakota West experiencing a little bit of a resurgence this year. Cincinnati area coaching legend Jim Leon is in his second year at control of the boys program at Lakota West. This year in the regular season, 11-11 overall, 8-8 in the GMC, so pretty average, but considering they had won 5 games last year, 4 games the year before, quite an improvement for the Firebirds.
Yeah, and listen, it's amazing for the coach to come in mid-season like that, keep the boys focused. It's a true testament to him, his style, and the commitment made by the boys. So we should be in for a heck of a game tonight, Glenn. I'm really looking forward to tonight's game.
I am as well. The Vikings are led by Steve Green, who is the interim head coach. He's been a member of the Princeton staff for the last 20 years. Back in September, head coach Steve Wright stepped away to begin pursuing a collegiate career and made the move up to the Cleveland State program. So Steve Green checks in, take things over, and try to guide the ship this year, and we'll see who's roaming the sideline as the head man next year. So
Glenn,
just about set for the tip.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. Hold on, this will be a good high-scoring game. If the pass is any indication of what we're going to see tonight, we're going to see a lot of leather going in the nets.
It's Alex Safari going up against Sterling Burkhalter. Burkhalter gets the tip, and the Vikings will get the first crack on offense. We're underway from Hamilton High School boys tournament basketball. Lakota West doing a good job of denying. Pulling up, going across court. 3-ball from the right side.
Wow.
Finds the bottom of the net for Tate Fishman. That was Carter Combs with the steal. Came down and made that cross-court pass to set up that scoring opportunity for West.
Lakota West is in a man-to-man pressure defense. They got Princeton to commit a turnover. Nice pass in the middle for 2.
Nice feed inside, and that's the big man, Jaheim Thomas, going up strong off the glass to get the first points of the game for Princeton. Turnover right around at the free throw line. Contact in the paint, swatted away hard by Julian Mackey. We talked about pregame. Wide open 3 from the right side. Bingo! Brady Weber.
Weber comes into tonight's game, averaged 6.5 points a game. So again, he's a big part of that offense. He's a 4th leading scorer on West's team.
This is the start you're looking for if you're a Firebirds fan. Giving Princeton all kinds of trouble. Jaheim Thomas loses control. Firebirds come up with it. They'll pull up. Long cross-court pass. Drive in traffic, and a blocking foul. Carter Combs goes hard to the hoop, and he'll get the and one opportunity.
Boy, I tell you, Lakota West is really running up and down that court. And when they get an opportunity to take the cut to the basket, they did and got a foul. Great move. They're double teaming the big guy down on the blocks down there, Glenn.
Khalil Davis gets his first foul. The shot rims out and won't go. 8-2. Firebirds out in front. Princeton back down in transition quickly off the glass. It won't go, and it's cleaned up by Brady Weber. They'll put it back in the hands of Mackey. Mackey being closely guarded by Burkhalter. Three ball again from the right side. Brady Weber almost from the exact same spot. Hits his second three in a row, and the Vikings have to call a timeout at the 6-minute mark of the opening quarter, trailing 8-2.
Here's a replay on that three, Glenn. I mean, it's just great. Great. Here's one of the threes right there, just nothing but net. Here's the next one, cross court again. Clean look, no defense on him, and he nails it. Here's the last one. There's another. Yep. Oh, here's the and one, the drive to the basket. There it is. And again, here's the last three.
Nice step back by him to get back out and beyond the arc.
On the arc, yeah. So a very timely timeout by Coach Green. Didn't like what he saw on defense by the Princeton.
West riding a wave of momentum. The Vikings hoping to stem that tide. See what they can do as they get the ball on offense. Under 6 minutes to go now after the timeout. Nice screen, but Lakota West catches up. Three ball from the left side off the back iron. Rebounded. Burkhalter in the lane. It won't go, and a whistle. Out of bounds. It will stay with the Vikings, excuse me.
Yeah, it looked like that ball was touched by number 15 for the Firebirds, Fisherman. Good hustle over there, just got the line.
Inbounded successfully, nice outlet pass. Three ball goes up from the right side. And all of a sudden, Vikings are starting to make a run. Khalil Davis, his first points of the evening, 11-5 with 5:30 remaining in the opening quarter. Drive in, swatted away by Thomas. That was Carter Combs getting the Jaheim Thomas treatment. It'll be West ball underneath their own basket.
Here's a replay. Thomas says, you're going to come in here, you're going to pay the price. He swats it all the way about 3 rows up behind the basket.
Stack play going hard to the hoop. With the contact, Julian Mackey gets his first points in the game, 13-5. West still leads.
Well, we thought it was going to be a high-scoring game, Glenn. Yep. Here we are.
The West defense forces a turnover, but now Princeton's going to take it right back, and as he was trying to get control, his foot went on the line, he being Darius Randall.
You know, Glenn, I wonder at this pace how long it's going to be before the coaches go to the bench, because these guys have been going up and down the court, starting to see a little gassing out there on some of the guys.
See some players on the Lakota West bench ready to go. Only one, it appears, on the Vikings bench at this point. Keep an eye on that. Good ball movement and player movement by the Firebirds. Drive in, up off the glass, and good for Carter Combs. 4 points now for Combs, 15-5, under 4:40 to go in the first quarter.
Combs averages almost 16 points a game, so he's well on his way to hitting that. He's very aggressive, takes the ball to the hoop, and he's not intimidated on Thomas in the middle.
Burkhalter's trying to slow things down. The Vikings set up a screen, but players end up running into each other. There's a floater, or a jumper, just inside the arc. It will not go. Rebounded by West. Long pass down to Weber. Weber finally misses from his favorite spot on the right side.
That was halfway down and came back out.
Approaching 4 minutes remaining. Quarter number one, 15-5. Lakota West over GMC foes. Princeton wide open, left side, money.
White Lakota West double teamed the ball. The man with the ball left the guy open on the wing, and he nailed the three.
It's the risk you take sometimes.
It is the risk you take, yeah. I guess Lakota West was saying, until you make them, we're going to let you try them, and now they made one.
See if they make that adjustment. 15-8 now. Reach in by Bowen Hardman. No call forthcoming. West hangs on to the ball. Princeton being a little more aggressive on defense now, Mike.
Yes, they are. You got Brady Weber, 20 in there, 6'5". You got a little mismatch on number 15.
Jumper for Afari, it won't go.
Yep.
Winding down toward the 3-minute mark. Feed inside to Thomas. Thomas pivots, tries to go up off the glass, and he gets the roll. They're going to need everything they can get out of Jaheim Thomas in this game, as physical as it's been in the paint, Mike.
Yeah, he used that big body and that butt to get the defender out of the way and took it high up off the glass.
Carter Combs from the left side, his tray attempt will not go. Princeton back down offensively. Drive in, floater, rolls over the rim, rebounded by Thomas, struggle for control, taken right out of his hands by by Julian Mackey of Lakota West. Now under 2:30 remaining.
Glenn, we got a track meet going on here. This game is hardly stopped.
Yeah, I mean, like your comment earlier, when are we going to start seeing the bench come into play?
Yeah.
And there's a foul near the baseline. So the foul is going to go against Jaheim Thomas, his first foul. Team's second of the half. It's been a relatively clean game foul-wise.
Yeah, you only got 2 and 0.
Kick out. Now we'll go back up top. Begin the rotation. Jumper from beyond the arc from the left side. Falls through for Mackey. He has 5 of West 18. So we wind toward 2 minutes. We're going to come out and double team the ball again. We're able to get by it, but the ball's deflected in the paint, out of bounds.
Glenn, you can see Lakota West's style. They're double teaming the ball, the guy bringing the ball up. They create another turnover, and we're going to see some guys coming in off the bench here for the first time. So the first substitutions of the game for the Vikings.
And Thomas will go out with that foul.
Going to see a substitution for West now, number 13 coming in. That's Nathan Dukovic.
Right.
He's coming in for his first action.
Greg Johnson came into the game for the Vikings. Trying to get the number on the other and thinking to turn around. There it is.
Princeton's changing up their defense a little bit, going with man-to-man pressure. Looks like that foul's going to be on number 4.
And Greg Johnson.
The fouls against the Vikings, number 4.
That's his first of the game, the team's third in the half. Pretty uneventful sideline out of bounds play, but a lot of ball movement by West. Step back 3, finds the bottom for Mackey.
Largest lead of the night for West, up 11. I think they're shooting about 80% from the threes tonight, Glenn, so far through the first quarter.
Almost another turnover. Long
Nice
pass
look.
up and off the glass for Caleb Crawford. His first points of the game, 21-12.
That was a nice no-look pass.
Sure was. Drive in, three-pointer from the right side. Rainbows over the hoop. Tracked down effortlessly by the Vikings. It's Bowen Hardman who brought it down. Free ball, right side. Will not go for Greg Johnson. Mackey comes up with it for West as he crosses the timeline. Pass it off to Carter Combs.
Now we know how they're getting 70, 80 points a game. They're all firing up those threes.
Right.
Not many 2 points, not many others close shots.
They do shoot a lot of threes. That's for sure. West is going to try to run some clock out. Honestly, Mike, West was 5th in the GMC in three-point percentage.
Yeah.
But they led the GMC in scoring.
You know
67%, sorry.
Yeah, you know why. They're putting a lot of them up.
Yep.
This is twofold. I think they're taking some clock, using some clock, and maybe getting a little breather here for their guys as well. There's a bad pass.
He's in a double team, tried to find someone to go to.
Oh,
Lots of contact over on the right side. Making hard contact.
Let's see, is that a shooting foul? Maybe not.
With the ground, it's Khalil Davis.
Here's a replay. No, I don't think he's shooting. No, it's not.
Wasn't shooting. It's going to be a side out. The end of the West bench. Now the referee's going to move it up a little bit.
Tell you, that was a heads-up play by Johnson. He was caught in the air, and he got lucky to get fouled there.
Under 5 seconds. Pull up. Three ball. Finds the bottom of the net for Darius Randall. He gets his first points of the game. And at the end of the first quarter, it's Lakota West 21, Princeton 15. What an exciting first quarter.
Are you kidding? It's amazing. I tell you what, Princeton's only down 6 points. It looks a lot better, 6 on the board versus 9. That was a key 3-point attempt, and it's amazing. They're going to here it is right there. There's another 3 by Lakota West. Some little highlights going on here. It's just unbelievable.
West had 5 3-pointers unofficially by my count in the opening quarter. Princeton was able to answer back with just 2 of their own. Actually 3 make that. Khalil Davis had a pair. Darius Randall had 1. Brady Weber, of course, had a pair for West. Tate Fishman had 1. Julian Mackey had 2 threes.
I mean, if you look at the 3-point percentages, Glenn, Mackey's 36, Holmes is 35, Weber's 29, and Fishman's at 41. So, you know what? They're earning those because they're putting a lot of them up. So, strap it on, boys. We got another one coming here. Another 8 minutes.
The winner of this game will advance to the district tournament to face the winner of Centerville and Huber Heights Wayne, which is being played at about this time as we broadcast this game up at Trotwood Madison. Centerville the #1 seed, Wayne the 5. In our game, Princeton was the 6, Lakota West the 14. One of our ICRC community schools, the Indian Hill Braves, the girls team, knocked out of the tournament by Valley View. Valley View's making a habit of knocking out Cincinnati teams from postseason opportunities.
Last foul was on #1, Caleb Crawford for Princeton.
That's a good catch. That'll be his. Vikings come up with the ball. That's Caleb Crawford. Passes it off. Drive to the basket and drawing the foul. Princeton is able to get down the court so quickly. That's Khalil Davis.
Here's a replay, Glenn. I think it was, you see Tate go to the basket, gets fouled on the arm, but they got down the court so fast it was a 1 pass, and he was right there going up for a layup attempt.
Julian Mackey gets his first foul of the game. It's Lakota West's second at the free throw line. Khalil Davis, who makes the front end. See what he can do on his second shot. Clock frozen at 7:41 in the second quarter. Gets the roll. Hit the front iron, rolled around, looked like it might roll off, and decided to find the bottom.
Well, he's only a 64% free throw shooter, but he got them both that time. So cuts that lead down to 4.
21-17, under 7:30 to go.
That's a long 3.
Sure is. In and out. Will not go. To Combs.
You know,
Randall brings it down. He's going to go strong to the hoop and get the points.
And I know Lakota West takes a lot of threes, but they can't live behind that arc, Glenn.
Right.
You know, all of a sudden Princeton's going to start defending them. They're going to have to take some of those, get them in the middle, in closer, and make some 2s.
Well, and already, you know, had a big lead. It's down to 2. Long 3 by Mackey won't go. Princeton comes up with the basketball. They'll come down. Well, talk about a long 3. Princeton makes one of their own that finds nothing but the back iron.
I'm watching Coach Green over there. He was not happy with that NBA 3 attempt.
Drive in, attempt to pass off. Vikings force another turnover. Back down quickly in transition. Trey from the right side. Finds the bottom of the net.
Absolutely. Glenn, they've come out here in the second period. Lakota West living on those 3s, and it's not working for them now. All of a sudden now, Princeton cut that 6-point lead into a 6-point deficit to a 1-point lead. I think a great timeout for Lakota West.
Absolutely. So Princeton takes a 22-21 lead with 6:28 remaining. Mike?
Yeah, here's that basket, the layup, and here's that last 3 just before Lakota West called their timeout to put Princeton up by 1.
Khalil Davis has 11 points, 9 of those coming beyond the arc, out in 3-point land. Well, we said it a couple times now. We thought it was going to be a high-scoring game, and we are well on our way.
Yeah.
See what the defenses can do to try to slow things down a little bit. West ball underneath Princeton's basket after the timeout. Clock begins rolling again after being frozen at 6:28.
Yeah, Coach Leon for Lakota West, who's been around the Cincinnati area for a long time, has had a lot of success with different programs. He's He's been here before. He knows when to call those timeouts. So.
Heads up play down there from Combs. Weber ended up with it. Goes off the glass for 2.
And what do, Glenn? They take it in and get it off the glass versus shooting another 3.
Right.
Wow.
Speaking of strong off the glass, Khalil Davis, his first non-3-point field goal. Trouble in the lane, tie up, and there it'll go. Alternating possession, the ball will go to Princeton.
All of a sudden now we see all the players on the other side of Princeton up rallying their teammates. The guys on Lakota West are sitting a little bit over there. So you can definitely see a momentum change in this game, Glenn.
It's just interesting. There's no feeling out process with these teams, right? As we mentioned, played twice in the regular season. They know this gym. Hamilton, of course, a GMC school. So just another game. Doesn't even feel like the tournament, really.
Right.
Ball movement by the Vikings. Drive in. We're going to get a travel. Nope, foul underneath.
Well, you start seeing the athleticism of these kids out there, Glenn. Their first steps are take one step and they go to the basket.
Carter Combs gets his first foul, the team's 3rd. A little bit of trouble down there. Brady Weber was a wall. Princeton will work around it, though. Greg Johnson, a little shot, gets his first points of the game. Look at Coach Green working that sideline, trying to get his team back in position defensively.
He might need a little break himself.
Oh, nice strip. Fantastic strip. Greg Johnson's off to the races, up and off the glass, good for 2. Timeout, Lakota West. Jim Leon's going to take his second quick timeout.
Wow, quick hands there. Here's a replay from that steal. Very quick hands. Boom, knocks it out. And he had a clear path to the basket, lays it up and off the glass and in. Princeton up there, 5-point lead, largest lead of the day.
Got to take a little better care of the basketball than that, huh?
Yeah, and Coach Leon, he's taking a couple timeouts here with a matter of a couple minutes in between the first one and the second one. So he obviously had to break the momentum, or is attempting to break the momentum from Princeton. But Princeton's all of a sudden got this new sense of energy, and they're really playing at a high level.
Well, we appreciate you tuning in to this special edition of High School Hoops as we go on the road to Hamilton High School to bring you this tournament game between the Princeton Vikings and the Lakota West Firebirds. Glenn Olson and Mike Lorienti with you. We literally have an all-star production cast on hand here tonight.
As we should, Glenn. Great guys, everybody helping out. There's a foul.
Carter Combs nearly lost a handle on the ball, was able to recover. He goes to the basket and draws a foul.
Here's a replay. Nice first move. Takes it strong to the basket, and as he's going up, he's fouled. Looks like number 3. That looks like that was Denarius Randall.
Combs, his second trip to the free throw line. He was 0 for 1 previously, now 0 for 2.
69% free throw shooter throughout 22 games.
Second shot on the way. Good.
Rattles the rim and in.
Substitution for West coming in. Tate Fishman going out to Dokovic.
So the starting 5 is on the court for Lakota West.
Very physical matchup between these GMC foes. You know, looking through the statistics pregame, neither team seemed to foul a lot. And they're really, considering how physical it's been, there haven't been a lot of fouls here. It's been very physical. Caleb Crawford gets his second bucket of the night.
Nice cut to the basket, lays it up and in.
25 for West, 30 for Princeton. Approaching 4:15 in the first half. 3 ball, nothing but air for Mackey. Tracked down by the Vikings, long outlet pass to Crawford. Gets it under the basket. They'll kick it back out and reset the offense. Wide open 3 from the left side, will not go. Almost a tip in, underneath for Hardman, it won't go. West back in transition quickly. Looked like a jump stop, decided to pass the ball instead. Here's Coach Green sliding down the floor again. Still got the technique down.
Tell you, Lakota West is doing those cross-court passes. Princeton's, oh, look at that bounce, Glenn.
Wow.
Holy smokes. That almost went as high as the backboard.
Amazing.
So that breaks a long drought of threes by Lakota West.
They're going to get a foul down at the other end.
Cuts that lead to 2. Boy, Lakota West needed that 3. Here's that last basket. You can see how he got that friendly bounce. In fact, I think it went higher than the backboard.
Darius Randall guilty of the foul for the Vikings. There's a drive in the paint. I guess it may have been Mackey for West, excuse me. Okay, 3:15 and counting. Another long 3 from the left side. Bounces off the iron. Not able to track it down was Dokovic, who's back in the game. New Princeton ball at the end of their bench. 3:09. Vikings with a 4-point lead in the second quarter.
Both teams staying in that man-to-man defense. We've seen Lakota West change it up. They're not trying to double team the guy bringing the ball up court. Boy,
nice job of working around the traffic for Khalil Davis.
Left-hand layup protected that ball.
Leads up to 6 for the Vikings. It's been a game of swings so far. Back down to the corner. On the left side is West. Now they're going to change things up. Penetration almost swiped away in the paint. Coming up to make the shot, Dokovic nails it. 34-31 Vikings, 2:20 remaining. A little bit of a challenge there, and then a step back 3 for Khalil Davis.
Davis says, "You're going to do that. I can do it. I can do it as well."
Davis now with 4 free balls. Long cross-court pass to Dokovic, pulls up, will pass it back up top to Mackey.
He thought about it, Glenn. He thought about it.
Sure did. Now Mackey's going to drive in. Gets stripped underneath. Whoa.
Whoa, I think he got away with one on that one. I think he did. Here's a replay. Again, we're not making the calls, but it sure looked a little suspicious. But he...
Yep, just that reach. Johnson, that's his second foul.
Good call.
Going to send Mackey to the free throw line for the first time tonight.
Mackey on 80% free throw shooter throughout 20 games this season, so odds are he's going to make them.
Johnson and those 2 fouls will go out. Jamal Walker, wearing jersey number 10, comes in for Princeton.
He's not shooting, Glenn. It's a non-shooting foul. Sorry about that.
Hold a control foul, so 37-31, under 150 now. Mackey, cross court on the baseline drive to Dokovic. Shot won't go, easily hauled in by Caleb Crawford.
Less than 2 minutes to go until halftime. 6-point lead for Princeton.
They're going to get a foul on Brady Weber for almost incidental contact.
Here's a replay, Glenn. Wow. Again, they got a better angle at it than we do, but nevertheless.
Darius Randall will shoot a pair. Makes the front end.
Randall, an 82% free throw shooter, and is their leading scorer, averaging 13 points a game.
Second shot on the way. High arcing shot. Finds the bottom. 7 points unofficially for Randall. Vikings ahead by 8. Just about 90 seconds remaining in the half. To Dokovic down in the corner. They'll continue the quick passing. Drive in. Despite all the contact, Carter Combs having himself a game tonight.
They're going to have to do more of that, Glenn, if they want to get it back. You know, I mean, they're only down 6, but they got to mix this up, 3s and 2s.
We get Julian Mackey for foul number 2.
Might be time to put him on the bench for the last minute and 15 seconds. You surely don't want him picking up his 3rd foul.
Trent Lloyd will come into the game, so good call as Mackey will go to the bench. 39-33 Princeton, 1:15 remaining in the half. Princeton inbounds underneath their own basket. With the ball's Randall. He'll pass it back up top to Crawford. Hardman came from behind but didn't get the ball. The ball will stay over on the right side. Back up top to Randall. Randall drives in, he'll pass it off. All kinds of traffic with Jamal Walker and a whistle.
You know, the way Princeton's playing tonight, I thought there's no way in the world they're going to try and kill that clock. They were just looking for the right opening, and there it was. He gets a little opening, drives it to the back, and basket, he gets hacked on the arm.
Trent Lloyd, number 14, gets his first foul. That's 7 for West. Princeton has 6. Missing the front end was Jamal Walker. Second shot on the way. Clock frozen. 52.6 seconds. Second shot is good for Walker. 40-33, a 7-point lead for the Vikings. Was it a 15-point lead for West at one point?
Yeah.
Princeton just an impressive job of battling back in, making the necessary adjustments. There's a steal. West will come up with the ball.
Oh.
And a turnover right in front of Princeton's bench as Fishman was trying to get it over to Jessup.
Now Princeton might want to use the rest of the clock and take the last shot.
Actually trying to get it over to Weber. Yeah, definitely want to play for the last points now of the half. Vikings sitting on a 7-point lead. We're at 20 seconds remaining. A lot of controversy in the basketball community today after stall ball last night, the Western Hills Harrison matchup. West High held the ball for about 6 minutes, I think.
Really?
3 ball from the right side, finds the bottom of the net. Jamal Walker, desperation shot, will not go. And at the half, Princeton has stormed back to take a 10-point lead, 43-33. We will step away for halftime and be back with the second half. You're watching ICRC-TV Sports.
I was physically at school, but my mind wasn't at school. I had problems at home. That's when I met Narnese. She started helping me a little bit, like, Nia, I don't know what you're doing, but your future is more important. She's my strength. It takes a village to help somebody get their diploma. It changes your whole life.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
What to expect when you're expecting a teenager.
Today we're talking about how to wake up your teen, and this works literally every time.
Good kisses. Good kisses. You heard how loud
I heard. It wasn't you. Yeah. It was the...
Is that bacon?
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Touchdown! Did you see that? Whoa, we scored? Yeah, we scored. We're going to the playoffs. I can't believe I missed that. Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone.
I should take your phone away.
No. I'll call for a ride. Wait, why does my face look like that?
Get it.
Get it.
Get it. Get it.
Get it. Get it.
Is she gonna get it, Daddy?
She'll get it.
Get it. Get it.
When you bring home a Goodwill find, you give your whole town a reason to celebrate because you're also funding local job training and placement programs in tech, healthcare, and more. Goodwill. Bring good home.
Welcome back to ICRC-TV Sports. Look at some of our first half highlights as the Princeton Vikings had an incredible second quarter to take a 43-33 lead. Mike, anything significant off the stat sheet we need to know about?
Yeah, I tell you, you look at the leading scores for Princeton. Davis had 18, followed by Randall with 9, and on Lakota West, Combs had 11, and Mackey had 8. We talked about Mackey at the beginning of the game. He comes in averaging, I think, almost 22 points a game. He's well below his average. If West is going to get into this, they need him to really step up. And then the other thing is we've talked so much about the 3 points, and Princeton's shooting 60% from beyond the arc. Lakota West is 47, so a big part of the game.
Indeed it is. We're just about set for the second half. Lakota West will get the ball at midcourt opposite their bench, and we're underway. Glenn Olson and Michael Orianti with you from Hamilton High School for this special edition of High School Hoops. Looking forward to seeing what happened in the chess matches between the coaches in the halftime locker rooms. Right away, it looks like Lakota West is going to slow things down and be a little more patient on offense. Princeton's going to continue
that
with
pressure
the defensive
deep.
persistence, though.
Yeah. Turned it over.
Yep. Double dribble, perhaps.
Yeah.
So Princeton ball right in front of the West bench. 7:33 in the third quarter.
I find it very interesting, Glenn, as you look out on that court for Princeton. Thomas, number 24, is still on the bench.
Sure
That's
is.
interesting.
Three ball will not go for Hardman. Rebounded by Mackey. He loses his footing, and we're going to get a blocking foul on Greg Johnson. That'll be foul number 3 on Greg Johnson.
Well, he's coming out real quick.
Jamal Walker right up to the scorer's table to take his place. So just 45 seconds in, Greg Johnson finds himself in foul trouble. West gets the ball just about opposite of where they got it to start this half. West, much more deliberate pace, not as hectic as it seemed in the first quarter. One of the obvious adjustments so far, drive in and a strip.
Reach in foul by number 10.
Jamal Walker, who just came into the game, and
here's a replay.
Actually, they're going to give it to Crawford. That'll be foul number 2.
Oh, that's on Crawford, okay.
Nice stack play right there. Alex Safari went up top to get it. Safari, one of the leading rebounders, so you know the man can jump. He's a tremendous athlete, obviously. Driving to the basket, finger roll, Caleb Crawford. 6 points in the game for him. 3-point shot would not fall for West and Carter Combs. Now loose ball, tracked down by Randall. Vikings will maintain possession. Feed inside. Now a kick out, baseline drive, and a travel on Davis.
You talk about Afari, Glenn. He leads the GMC in rebounds at seven rebounds a game. So he's not afraid to go up there and mix it up in there in the middle.
Mackey will bring the ball down for the Firebirds, who trail by 10. Tried to waist level pass, and it's swatted away. Turnover. Princeton back down. Transition. 3-ball, right side off the back iron. Jamal Walker shot no good. Here comes West, waiting for reinforcements. Afari feeds inside. It came in a little hot for Fishman. Another turnover. Come the Vikings.
Nice.
Great job weaving around the defender.
That was an end-to-end.
Darius Randall. 11 points in the game for him now. Pull-up jumper. Brady Weber can't find the rim, or can't find the basket, excuse me.
Lakota West has got to be really, they've got to be really smart with every possession, because, you know, if they turn it over and whatnot, Princeton's down the court very quick, and they're really taking advantage of those opportunities. It's 12 points now. West has got to be real careful.
Vikings going to play a much more deliberate pace on this possession. Ball movement around the perimeter. A little bit of player movement will kick in now. Crawford Dribbles back up top near the center circle. He's got to watch. About 4 feet, maybe 3 from that line. He knows where he's at, though. He'll drive in, tries a spin move. Now he was going to give it to Hardman. Vikings pretty much give up on it. Now they'll get the over and back, but Hardman watched it go. Perhaps he should have made beeline to that basketball. You don't want to give West an uncontested shot.
Absolutely. I'm just wondering why he didn't take the ball to the rim, because it looks like he had an opportunity to take it up and maybe even get a foul if he didn't make it. Then he makes a silly pass, and it's turnover to West.
Mackey with the inbounds pass to Weber. Ends up back in Mackey's hands. A little bit of a push-off. Goes up top. It will not go. Rebounded by Walker. Vikings in transition. They pull up or go to the basket. They're going to go to the basket.
Mackey.
Going to get a foul.
That's on Mackey.
That'll be 3 on him.
I mean, at this point, here's a replay. See, Mackey gets him on the arm. You know, I think this is a critical point of the game. They're taking him out. So you can't imagine he's going to spend much time on the bench because this lead, they can't afford to let this lead continue to grow.
Dokovic will take his place on the floor for the time being. Princeton having a little bit of trouble getting the inbounds, and Coach Steve Green has to burn another timeout to avoid the call for taking too much time, Mike.
Yeah, you know, we talked about Mackey when we started the second half about how he's below his average in points, and he still hasn't scored. Now he's going to spend a considerable amount of time, you would think, over there on the bench. Can't afford to lose him. Can't afford to lose his 20 points a game.
Right, for sure. See what West can do to try to adjust. Still got Afari who can get things done down in the paint. With his size, he'll remain out on the floor. Just 2 points in the game for Afari, and those just came just a couple of seconds ago. 47-35, 4:45 remaining in the third quarter from Hamilton High School. Winner will advance to play the winner of Centerville and Huber Heights Wayne. Turnover by the Vikings. Not able to get there in time. Jamal Walker.
So whatever they talked about during that timeout, it didn't work, Glenn. They had trouble getting it in, and they create the turnover.
It all sounds good in theory, right?
Yeah.
Nice ball handling by Fishman. Pass it over to Afari, who's up top. Now to Weber. Weber being guarded closely by Hardman.
Block.
Shot.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, shot won't go underneath, and Princeton comes up with the ball, but a whistle.
Yeah, it looks like he stepped on the line over there, but great effort.
See this?
Yeah, here's a replay here. Now you can't see it. Well, yeah.
Shot's going to go up from the right side for Dokovic.
That's big 3, cuts that lead down to 9.
6 points in the game. All of them coming beyond the arc, Mike.
Yeah. West is trying to continue to apply that pressure on defense, see if they can't create some turnovers.
Driving to the basket. Off the fingers, Khalil Davis.
He's just adding to his total, Glenn.
Having himself a great game.
Travel. Yeah.
Carter Combs tried to jump stop and then was going to go to the basket, but his momentum lifted that foot.
He found a red shirt right in front of him that blocked his path, and he was like, uh-oh, now what do I do?
Under 3:50 to go now in the third quarter. Pace has slowed considerably from the first half. Not quite the helter-skelter track meet, right.
Yeah.
Now Princeton will penetrate, kick out. Going in is Crawford. Crawford shot will not find the rim.
Great defense.
Yep, turnover. Randall's going to baseline drive, now kick out. 3-point shot from the left side is no good for Davis, rebounded by Afari underneath. So a little bit of disaster averted there for West. Into the paint and all kinds of traffic was Carter Combs. No contact. West comes back up with it though. Dokovic nails another tray.
Boy, Dokovic is picking up where Mackey taking up some of that slack for Mackey's points. Now down to an 8-point game. Boy, he's been deadly here this second half. He's feeling it, Glenn.
Keep feeding him, keep feeding him. Drive to the basket. Roll will not go. West with the rebound.
I think if Lakota West gets a basket here, I wouldn't be surprised if Coach Green takes a timeout, try to break this run that they're on.
West continuing to be very patient.
Oh!
Nice back door. Carter Combs came streaking in from the right side. Good awareness on the floor by the Firebirds.
I
Leads
just saw
down to
Coach
6.
Green telling his team, slow it down, be patient, we got this. And a foul.
They'll go right to the basket immediately. Darius Randall tries and got a blocking foul on the way.
And here you can see here, here's that first basket. Nice cut, reverse layup and in for 2. And you can see here, nice, again, foul there, which is going to put number 3 on the line, Randall, for Princeton. Now we're going to get the big guy. Thomas is coming back in. We haven't called his name for a while.
Sterling Burkhalter and Jaheim Thomas coming into the game. So physical and height for the Vikings. Nailing both of them is Randall. The West foul was on Brady Weber. He now has 2. Dodokovic from the left side. A little bit too much. Struggle for control, and there to clean it up was Tate Fishman. 5 points in the game for Fishman. We're under 2 minutes to go.
2 of the Princeton guys were fighting over the ball, and it slipped out of their hands, and Fishman was there to pick it up.
West student section picks up the calls for defense. Fadeaway for Hardman.
Wow.
No good. Cleaned up underneath by Combs. He'll bring the ball down for West. 1:30 now remaining in the third quarter. Combs.
No! No!
Everything went his way on that possession.
Holy smokes, you thought the ball was going to get loose. He gets it and lays it up. It's now a 4-point game.
Combs continues to have a very impressive game, to say the very least, Mike.
Yeah, he is. Boy, oh boy, he is not afraid to get in there and mix it up. Give credit to Lakota West. Boy, they have clawed back into this game.
Nice pass underneath, cleaning it up is Burkhalter. His first points of the game. The lead's back to 6, under 50 seconds now. Dokovic is going to drive in. They'll kick it back out from 15 feet. Weber hits it.
Track meet's back on, Glenn.
Yeah. I thought that might be coming. Pull-up jumper from 15 feet. It's good for Randall. 30 seconds now. 55-49 Vikings.
They're going to hold it. See if they can't cut into that lead, maybe make it 2 or 3 point lead going into the fourth period.
Carter Combs dribbling out the clock, playing for the last shot. Teams are lined up almost shoulder to shoulder in front of the basket. Now the movement commences as we're under 10 seconds. Combs not finding an alley. Nice pass over to Afari. Afari in the right place at the right time. And your score at the end of the third quarter, Princeton 55, Lakota West 51.
Boy, Lakota West really got themselves back into this game. Here's that one we talked about where the Princeton guys were fighting over the ball, and it was just being able to clean up by Fishburne. And now here's that jumper in the middle of the lane.
West had an 18-point quarter. Just 12 for the Vikings. Take a look at our cable TV replay schedule for our Spectrum and Fioptics customers. Of course, you can watch this game and all the other content that ICRC produces at our website, ICRC-TV.com, ICRC-TV.com. Thanks for tuning in to this special edition of High School Hoops. Glenn Olson and Mike Lorienti with you from Hamilton High School. 8 minutes left in regulation, partner. It's been a quick game so far.
You're saying that word regulation, you're going to curse us. But I tell you what, Glenn, this game has lived up to what we thought it was going to be when we were talking before the game started. Two evenly matched teams. It's like a boxing match. They've both been in there. They've given some blows and they've taken some blows. And they're all standing. They're still standing. So we're going into round 11 right here of a 13-round match.
Winner of this game will get some time off. Not slated to play until next Sunday, March the 8th, down at the Cintas Center on the campus of Xavier University. Loser, of course, will call it a season, and for the seniors, call it a high school career.
Yep.
Always a tough time to watch these tournament games come to an end and the emotion on the face of those seniors.
Yeah.
Saw that at one of our girls' contests earlier in the week. Sycamore battled back valiantly against Mercy McCauley, come up short, and just the pain on some of the face of the players. Too much. A three-point shot would not go for Johnson. Fishman, we're going to kick it around a little bit. Now we're going to get a Princeton foul. It's going to be on Khalil Davis. Actually, Caleb Crawford. That'll be foul number 3 on him, Mike.
West has come back to start this fourth period with that same intensity and sense of urgency, and it's got him back into this game.
Go up top to Weber, passes it off to Afari. Now it's Combs. Combs driving in, gets swatted away by Sterling Burkhalter. So a couple stoppages here early in the first, not even 30 seconds of the fourth quarter.
See what they're going to do on the inbound play. They better get it in. They better hurry up.
All congested down there before it spreads out a little bit. West was able to inbound to Afari. Now that's Combs with the ball. Pull up 3 ball.
No way. No way. Boy, that was beautiful.
Carter Combs.
He created that space and he laid that, buried that 3.
He is dominating the stat sheet.
He's
for
having
the West Firebirds.
He's having a great game tonight. As a lot of these guys, they're working their tails off out there. No quit on anybody.
Driving by, pass underneath, deflected away, and they're going to say that Jamal Walker had his foot on the baseline.
Here's a replay here. That step back 3 by Combs just created enough space to be able to get that up uncontested and buries that 3.
Cleo Davis, Darius Randall are going to check in for Thomas and Burkhalter.
Now I see Coach Green over there. He's not running up and down that court anymore. He's trying to figure out what he's going to do to break this momentum by West.
Yeah, I believe actually Burkhalter's going to stay out on the court, and there he is, swatting that one, but back into the arms of Combs.
He got lucky on that one. That had turnover written all over it.
That'll be lucky than good any day,
I
partner.
tell you, I hear you.
6:30. We are approaching in the fourth quarter. Nice pull up, and then the pass right back to Combs, who goes to the basket and draws the foul. So good piece of basketball right here by West. So Greg Johnson picks up foul number 4.
Combs is one of those seniors. He doesn't want this to be his last game in high school basketball, Glenn.
Right.
He's playing like it.
Combs 2 of 3 from the free throw line. Make it 3 of 4 with the back end coming up.
Tie game.
Clock stopped at 6:27 for Combs free throws after the foul on Greg Johnson. Second shot is good for Combs. Need an assistant to add up all his points. I can't do it on the run. He's having a great game. Let's just leave it at that.
That's a good.
This game's going too quick to stop and do all that math. Nice pass over and finish it off hard. Burkhalter gonna slam it home. West back down in their offensive half court quickly, and a reach in. If that's on Johnson, he's done.
See a replay here on that dunk.
It's gonna be on Burkhalter.
Nice pass. Goes up hard, dunks it. You wonder if that's gonna give a spark to Princeton. They're back up by 1.
West ball inbounded easily to Fishman. Three-pointer from right up top, finds nothing but back iron for Dodokovic. West rebounded though. Afari couldn't get the handle on it. Here we go, up and off the glass. Sterling Burkhalter all of a sudden making his presence known here in the fourth quarter. 59-56, Vikings up by 3. 5:40 remaining in the fourth quarter. Nice pass inside to Afari, almost loses it.
And he did.
And it's going to be last touched by him. Princeton ball in front of the West bench.
Here's that last bucket. You can see him just really burst to the basket, lays it off the glass and in. He's making his presence felt here on the hardwood and the grass. Two-way sport. He's a two-way athlete at Princeton.
Princeton now going to dribble out a little bit of clock. So we'll reignite the stall ball controversy.
Interesting.
Talked about that earlier. Last night, West High held onto the ball for a long time against Harrison. Of course, the OHSAA participates in NFHS rules.
Right.
There's no shot clock in NFHS. 3, no good for Davis. Rebounded by Afari.
You know, Glenn, you talk about Princeton, their game is up and down the court. All of a sudden now they slow it down. Kind of changes the feel for them, gets them a little bit out of their rhythm.
Yeah.
They took a bad 3 there.
Yep, I think they much prefer the more hectic pace of play or playing in transition. Pull up, no good for Combs. Rebounded by Princeton. Now here we go.
Yeah.
This may be more to their liking. Being closely guarded by Weber, no whistle. Princeton comes up with it though. 2 attempts at a stick back won't go.
Back to Princeton.
It's going to stay with the Vikings underneath their own basket. The clock stops at 4:27. Princeton living on the edge, I think it's fair to say right now.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. Their game is up and down. They're a totally different team when they go to slow it down.
Gonna go way up top. West almost got a finger on it. That was Tate Fishman, the white jersey, but it's tracked down by Randall. Now the ball movement will begin for the Vikings. So we wind toward 4:10.
I see Mackey getting ready to come in off the bench. See if they can't get some scoring from him. West is only down 3.
State points in the game for Mackey. Big difference from his 27-point performances during the regular season. Foul's going to be on Brady Weber. That'll be number 3 for number 20 from Lakota West. His team trails by 3. The clock stopped at 4:01. Caleb Crawford, his first trip to the free throw line tonight. He has 6 points. He can't make it 7 on the front end.
Yeah, he's a 54% free throw shooter. Now we got Mackey coming in.
Takes the place of Fishman.
He's coming in for Fishman. They're going to keep Dukovic out there because he's hot with that 3 and might need him down the stretch.
Crawford could not convert on either one. Last touch by the Vikings. West ball underneath the Princeton basket. The clock stopped at 4 minutes.
That could, that free throw percentage could come into play as this clock gets down closer to end. I'm sure Coach Leon and his staff knows who to foul if it gets down to that.
Sure, they know that stat sheet inside out as
Yep.
they prepared for this tournament game. West, good ball movement out on the perimeter, winding down toward 3:30.
Good defense by Princeton.
Dukovic running baseline, trying to get in position for a 3. We'll give it back to Mackey. Mackey's going to drive in, loses his balance. Saved, though, by Weber. Dukovic, couple of ball fakes. Now Mackey gets the roll. The collective Lakota West fan base, you could hear them hold their breath.
This place was quiet.
All tied up at 59, approaching 3 minutes.
And
Finger roll into paint and a blocking foul. Just like that, Princeton retakes the lead.
Wow.
Darius Randall.
Here's a replay. He makes that move, he gets fouled, and he lays it up off the glass. He's going to be able to go to the line to see if he can convert on that 3-point play.
Dukovic was guilty of the foul.
Very nice. Lead back up to 3 for Princeton. 3 minutes to go. Plenty of time. West has got to be smart. Block.
Nice block that time by Burkhalter. West keeps coming up with the ball, though, and Weber will take it home. Back to within 1. Davis, 3, no good. Rebounded by Dukovic. He'll hand it off to Mackey. Mackey will bring it down for the Firebirds. We're at 2:30 remaining. Mackey trying to do it himself, gets stripped away.
Uh-oh.
Crawford, easy off the glass.
We got a timeout.
Taken by Princeton.
Yep. Boy, that was a series of missed opportunity.
Boy, it was. Wasn't
Oh,
it?
yeah. Oh, boy. So, Glenn, I see you're sitting down. I'm not quite ready to sit down yet. I'm afraid if I sit down, I might not be able to get up. This has been really fun.
I figure I better get it in now because there probably will not be many opportunities
Yeah.
left in this game. So
Yep.
take a look at the Lakota West huddle, now the Princeton Vikings huddle. Great work by our camera crew here tonight, as well as our all-star crew in the truck, Dean Lowry and Jason Dudley.
Well, I tell you, the conditioning of these athletes being able to go up and down and keep this pace has been pretty amazing. Now, I know they've had a long time to get that conditioning, but listen, I don't care. It can make you tired. These kids are not stopping.
That's for sure.
I think the key for Lakota West, Glenn, to finish out this game is going to be Mackey.
Yeah.
I really do.
Well, they're just going to have to find some opportunities where they can set a screen for him and get him a free look, because right now, driving into the paint and all that traffic has not really been terribly successful for them.
It has not.
He has 11 points in the game, 9 of those from beyond the arc, but I think they really want to see him do some work with Afari down underneath.
Yeah.
So they may have to do some housekeeping for each other. The screens I mentioned earlier.
Here we go.
Here we go, approaching 2:15 in regulation. 64-61 Princeton. Ball belongs to Lakota West, and a turnover. It will go over to the Vikings. Substitution, Tate Fishman will come into the game for Mackey. Will go to the bench perhaps for the last time in regulation. Catch his breath, get some coaching. So we'll see him back in quickly.
Obviously, Fishman was expecting one of his players to be over there on the baseline, and there was a mix-up there, so it created the turnover. So Princeton up 3 with less than 2 minutes to go. See if they decide to slow this down, which didn't work for them in the past.
Drive in, pull up, up and off the glass, getting the roll, Darius Randall. 66-61. Vikings up by 5. 95 seconds remaining in regulation, and a foul. It's going to be on Khalil Davis. Number 2 for him.
Okay, here's a bucket here. You can see he goes up, he gets fouled, lays it up off the glass, and he made the other end, or the one for the 3. Here's the last play. We didn't get to see the end of it.
6 team fouls for the Vikings, 4 for the Firebirds. The possession arrow belongs to Lakota West at this particular juncture.
We've seen Mackey a couple times lose his footing. Oh!
Dudokovic. 12 points, all beyond the arc, Mike.
We talked about him a few seconds ago. You got to keep him out on the court, Glenn. I mean, he's feeling it from the 3.
Full timeout taken by Lakota West.
Here's a replay. He's just sitting on that corner, and he's getting good, clean looks. Nobody's putting a hand up trying to, to block his shot or direct. No, he's getting good
clean
shots.
Look away,
yeah,
right?
right, yeah.
So both teams will huddle up. 1:23 remaining as the chess match continues.
Yeah, we're not going to get to, unless it goes to overtime, but we're not going to get to the scoring averages of the first 2 times that these teams met. But you know what? It doesn't take away from the excitement of the game. This has been back and forth. We're now entering into round 13 of that 13-round fight here, the heavyweight fight. See who's going to stand, who'll be standing come the end.
A little bit of a tumble off during the timeout there. Got the fans moving and hollering. 1:23 remains in this one.
They'd be calling for the life squad for me if I was doing flips like that, Glenn. Believe me.
I'd still pay for it. Okay, here we go. Princeton with the ball. Nice pass coming in. Again, good ball movement. They'll kick it back out and burns the clock. Turnover. And an over and back. So Princeton with the forced error, and look who's coming back in, Mackey. They're taking him out on defense, bringing him in on offense, Mike.
Yep, offense for defense. Coach Green is trying to plead his case with the officials that the ball was tipped, but that goes unchanged. So
1:11. Sorry, Mike.
No.
2-point lead. West trying to tie it or take the lead. We approach 60 seconds. Good job of tracking that down by Weber. Burkhalter, that long wingspan, very nearly got a hand on it. Mackey, Afari up and off the glass, won't go.
No!
Stick back West, won't go. Princeton pulls it away and a whistle.
Boy, they had great looks at that, Glenn. That ball just, that rim had a lid on it, wouldn't go in for West.
So Afari is whistled for the foul, that's his first. Mackey will go back out.
Here's a replay, look, he had a great look, and then Weber, no, it just couldn't go in, and then a nice rebound by Princeton. West is going to put full court pressure on them, see if they can create a turnover.
They're breaking it pretty quickly. Down to their offensive half court quickly. Good ball movement by Princeton. 35 seconds remaining. We're going to get a foul on Fishman. It's his second of the game.
Well, Johnson's not one of the guys you want to foul, Glenn. He's an 84% free throw shooter. So I guess, what really came down is you had to foul somebody, couldn't let any more time off the clock. Well, it looks like it's going to be a side out. Oh, yeah. Okay. So they got another foul to give.
Yep, both teams with 6 now. The arrow with West, by the way, as we approach 30 seconds. Now West will move into 7. Send the Vikings to the free throw line. Fishman gets number 3. Mackey comes back in to the contest.
We go from an 84% free throw shooter in Johnson to an 82% in Randall. Again, good job by Princeton getting the ball into the right player's hands at the free throw line.
Darius Randall, 4 for 4 from the charity stripe tonight. First shot on the way. Money. Bonus forthcoming. Puts his team up by 3. 4 would be huge for the Vikings' chances to hang on and advance. Second shot. Rims out. The lead holds at 3. Afari has it underneath, was being trapped, and he wisely calls a timeout. That's Lakota West. 4th timeout of the game, partner.
I know that, Glenn, that ball was halfway in, came out. Afari, as we talked about, he's a rebounding force. Great job, got good position, got that defensive rebound. Now it's going to be up to Lakota West to come down here. Are they going to take a 3, Glenn? What do you think? I mean, you got 28 seconds left. If you get a good look at a 2, you might want to take a 2, and look at maybe putting one of the guys who can't shoot free throws on the line.
You shoot 2 and hope to draw a foul, but conversely, they've lived and died by that 3 ball.
I know.
Well, it will be interesting to see what Coach Jim Leon and his staff draw up in the huddle. Afari with the good heads-up timeout, though.
Yeah.
Knowing his team could not afford to lose possession.
Well,
as they trail by 3.
Well, if it's going to be a 3, it's either going to be Combs or Dudovic. Sorry about that. Dudovic. Yeah. It's going to be one of those 2 guys. You can't expect Mackey's going to come in and try a 3, as he's really not had a very good offensive night tonight at all.
11 points, 9 of those coming beyond the arc. Mackey will be out on the floor. Brady Weber will inbound it. Afari stays out. The Dudovic is out there, along with Brady Weber.
Princeton's going to press they're going to make sure Mackey's not the guy to make that shot.
Actually, it's Carter Combs, who we've said several times has been having himself a game, not Weber.
Yeah.
Princeton's going to come out and challenge, though, as we wind toward 15 seconds. Wide open 3 for Combs!
No!
Tie ball game, 10 seconds left. Princeton will take a timeout.
Oh, clutch is that.
8.1 seconds remaining.
Clutch.
Carter Combs has just had a fantastic game. They put the ball in the right hands.
Coach Leon and his staff drew up a great play. They get Combs a good look at the basket, and he didn't let him down.
I have Combs with 23 unofficially.
23, wow. Look at that. How in the world, we talked about that, how in the world did they give him that much space?
Yep. I mean, he's the guy that's leading the point brigade tonight, far and away.
Yeah.
There's, defensively, you got to say, don't let 11 get a clean look.
Right, exactly.
Well,
And he had plenty of separation between him and his defender. That was just a breakdown on defense. That's the only way you can. I mean, they were paying so much attention to Mackey over here. They should have been over here watching Combs as well.
Right. So over in the Princeton huddle, you've got 8 seconds left. My guess is take it hard to the basket. You've got a foul, right?
You've got to get a foul. And they've shown that they can get the ball. 8.1 seconds is plenty of time for them to get that ball up the court.
Right.
Now we're going to see what West is going to do as far as how they're going to handle this.
Afari is out there. Mackey is not. Weber returns to the floor, and I promise you it's right this time. So you have Combs, you have Fishman, you have Dodokovic for West. Vikings inbound pretty easily. 5 seconds. Going hard to the basket. Off balance shot will not go.
Foul! Oh, no, it's a jump ball.
Greg Johnson got tied up underneath with the West player, who I believe was Fishman.
Wow.
So 0.7 remaining. Princeton ball.
Here's a replay on that last. Ball goes up, no, and they call a jump ball.
They called a jump ball. That was an indication on the floor. Now, a couple of our officials are going to get together. We'll see if one overrules the other. And the thumbs up.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so West ball. Possession arrow will change after it's touched. West does not want to get a deflection by Princeton and a quick shot at the basket. They're just going to go up tall. It's taken by Princeton, and the half-court shot is off the mark. And you just knew this game was going to overtime.
You kept using that word, regulation.
It just had that feel the whole way.
It did.
With this series of runs.
Wow.
So at the end of regulation, 67 all.
Wow.
4 minutes in the first overtime period. 17 fouls for West. 6 for the Princeton Vikings. The possession arrow will belong to the Vikings. Actually, it's off right now. So do we jump? Yeah, so we'll jump, yeah.
Yep.
So possession to be determined.
Oh, my, oh, my. Wow.
2 timeouts left on the scoreboard. Get one back in overtime. So
right.
Lakota West was down to 1. They get a bonus timeout. Walk us through some of the excitement here.
Here's some of the highlights. I mean, there's plenty of them. This was the foul and up and they had the 3-point. Here's the 3 from the corner by Dukovic, which we've seen that, called his name a lot tonight. It's just been a lot of fun. There's the Combs right there. There it is to send this game into overtime.
Steve Green, Princeton head coach. It's going to be Afari for West and Bowen Hardman for the Vikings. We get set for the first overtime period. 4 more minutes. Ball is up, controlled by West. It's tracked down by Brady Weber. We'll hand it off to Mackey. Mackey has 3 fouls. As a reminder, as does Fishman for the Firebirds. Crawford with 3 for Princeton, 4 for Greg Johnson. Trey from the left side for Dodokovic. 15 points, all beyond the arc.
Unbelievable.
All beyond the arc. Stepping back, Randall. Now he'll penetrate. Contact, but no whistle. Ball's loose in the corner.
Wow.
Nice save by Afari.
Foul.
Driving is Combs, and he is fouled. Caleb Crawford will get foul number 4.
Here's a basket. Dukovic in the corner for 3 again. And then here's the scrum there right at the end. And a nice Afari kept the ball alive to bring it back down here for a 1-and-1, which both teams will be in the 1-and-1 from the here on in.
Carter Combs, 4 for 4 from the free throw line thus far in this contest.
Looks like we got a little timeout here on the court.
Referee's having minor issue with something in the bench area over there. Well, here we go. Good look at Carter Combs. Having a great game. First one goes. Second one on the way. 71-67 West. 3:22 remaining in the first overtime period. Second shot. Good.
Wow.
Carter Combs, 6 for 6 from the free throw line tonight, unofficially.
It's not time to panic for Princeton. I mean,
Yeah, plenty of time.
Plenty of time. They got to be smart. Good looks at the basket. And a turnover.
Off to the races is Fishman. He's going to go up against Hardman. Pass back to Afari, who gets the bucket. Timeout.
We got an injured player down
injured
here.
Player. Oh no. Holding that. It's not. You're not looking at a knee. It's more of a calf. Mike takes to the replay.
Yeah, here's a replay. You can see him go down there. Looks like he's grabbing his calf. Great handoff to Afari. Afari lays it up and off the glass and in. Makes that lead up to 7 points for West. They've come out of this first overtime period absolutely on fire.
That is Khalil Davis, who will go to the end of the bench for treatment. He leaves with 21 points unofficially.
And they're going to look at him right now, but you got to believe if he's good to go. Looks like it is a cramp or something down there. They're going to get him ready and get back in.
Yeah, he and Darius Randall have handled the scoring load for the Vikings tonight. They need him back out on the floor. But in the meantime, Randall controls the ball for Princeton. Step back, going up against Fishman.
Turnover.
Ball is loose underneath. It'll go to the Firebirds.
I'm surprised here at how sloppy Princeton's been with the ball here in overtime. Glenn, I think they've only had 1 or 2 shots in the last, so far, and they're not good shots, and they're being very sloppy with that ball.
It's a 7-point lead now for the Firebirds.
They're going to try. Princeton's going to try to force some turnovers. They got to change the luck right here.
Give it to the guy they want to foul and send to the free throw line. Mackey being guarded by Randall. Mackey's going to kick it back out to Combs. Now they're going to double team Combs. He steps through it. Afari thought about a 3. He'll pass it back to Combs. Combs, all kinds of contact from Burkhalter.
Wow.
And a whistle.
Boy, he did a nice job keeping those guys away from him and getting the foul. And you don't want to put him on the line because he's obviously showing he's not missing.
Yeah, 6 for 6.
Davis is back in the game for Princeton.
Burkhalter was guilty of that last foul. Going to the bench, Caleb Crawford and his 4 fouls. Here we go. Boy, Carter Combs.
I know we said it, man. He's been money all night long. And West has scored all the points in overtime. Princeton's yet to get on the board here. It's now a 9-point lead for West.
Actually, a missed free throw for Combs early in the game. He's 8 of 9 now. 3-point attempt, no good. Burkhalter, spin move, cannot get his shot to fall. There's a struggle for control on the floor. And a whistle. West get the timeout in? Or?
Actually, we've got an injured player here right at midcourt. Can't tell who that is, Glenn.
It's Burkhalter.
Is that Burkhalter?
Yeah. 6 points and 2 fouls. He is not feeling it, as they say.
Yeah, here's a replay. You can see here, and you can see here a couple good looks. Then the ball gets on the court, and all of a sudden we got Dukovic over there on the bottom of the scrum, gets timeout. Ball's going to stay with West with just under 2 minutes to go in the first overtime period.
Well, that's where that bonus timeout comes in.
Yeah.
The West Firebirds have 1 timeout remaining. The Vikings still have both, but the Vikings are trailing by 9 as this overtime period has been all Lakota West. Princeton has not scored through the first minute and 58 seconds of this first overtime period.
Glenn, it looks like Burkhalter might have a little cut above his eye. I can see over there. They got the trainer over there. He got to get that blood stopped, get him patched up before he can get back into the game.
They desperately want him back out on the floor for his height and rebounding ability, but the medical needs come first.
Yep.
West ball underneath the Vikings basket. Mackey passes it away before the trap can get on him. Now it's back over, up top to Weber, who tracks it down to Dokovic. Almost took one.
I thought he was going to. Coach Leon would have went crazy if he would have taken that three.
I think it's going to be a foul on Davis.
That's on Davis?
Well, it's all kinds of contact there.
Looks like that calf might still be bothering him.
Yep, Khalil Davis, that's foul number 3. 9 team fouls now. Coming back into the game, Jamal Walker. Actually, Walker will go back out.
Davis told him to go back.
Mackey, free throw, rims around and falls through. The lead is 10. Boy, Princeton, after battling back, is facing a big hill to climb now. 11 points. They've been outscored 11-0 in overtime.
Keeping with that boxing theme, they've been knocked down. They came up at the count of 7. They gotta see if they can get back in here. Clock is obviously going to be a problem.
In theory, it's a 3-possession game. Speaking of 3, that one will not go for Princeton. Being trapped is Combs, and Combs, as he went low, gets called for the travel, lost his balance, and lifted that foot up.
Yeah, here's a replay. You can see he picks his foot up. All of a sudden, he's double teamed, and he's got nowhere to go, and you can see he does.
That pivot foot just ever so slightly.
Good call
Princeton
by the officials.
with the ball. Sorry, Mike Davis.
That's good.
Three-pointer will not fall.
Akari in there for that rebound.
Tie up or a foul. Yep, it's going to be a foul.
Boy, Afari really knows what his role is, Glenn. You know, they don't count much for him on the offense, but when it comes to crashing the boards, I know I've said this a couple times, he is not afraid to go in there and mix it up.
Shaheem Thomas is guilty of his second foul. That sends Afari to the free throw line for the first time tonight. First shot, back iron, no good, but we're shooting
double bonus,
two.
Yeah,
double bonus. Players didn't even seem sure. Afari, the only person in the offensive half court. Firebirds playing back defensively. Bringing it down is Davis. Gets the roll.
And
timeout, Coach Green.
So there's their first points in the overtime period. They're still down. What's my math? 9 points. Is that right? 9 points.
They're down 9
points. Yeah.
78-69.
Yeah, here's a replay right there. Finally, Princeton gets on the board in overtime. Glenn, you know, you're at a point now with 1:13. I think it's time you can't trade 2 for 3s.
No.
You got to start firing them up.
Right.
I mean, it's to that point in time now for Princeton. It just would not have seen them go cold like they did here in overtime.
3-possession game. 73 seconds for the Vikings to try to stop this West scoring onslaught and find a way to get points up on the board. Tumble off will continue on the floor as the teams begin to break the huddle. Possession arrow is with Princeton. Each team has 1 timeout left. Princeton, 10 team fouls, West 7.
You know, Glenn, we talked about coaches, and we talked about Coach Green for Princeton and Coach Leon for West. He's been through the wars before, you know what I mean? He's seen this a lot. Maybe this might be new territory for Coach Green.
Nice job by Fishman there to pass out of trouble. West will hang on. Now being double teamed is Combs. Again, West keeps finding a way to wiggle out of this defensive pressure. He's going to get a foul on the Vikings. It's going to be on Bowen Hardman. His first of the game coming here late in the overtime period.
I think we're going to see a lot of foul shots here for the next minute.
think you could be right. Mackey, 2 for 2 from the free throw line before that.
Fari coming back into the game. Want him down on the defensive boards down there.
Dudokovic comes out and gets a rousing round of applause from the Lakota West faithful. Dudokovic unofficially with 15, all threes.
Glenn, you want to know something about him? He's a freshman.
No kidding.
He's a freshman.
Amazing. Bright future ahead.
Yep.
Long three. Can't go for Princeton. But the 2 will. Timeout on the floor. Greg Johnson
adds
to the scorebook.
That's Princeton's last timeout, I believe. Here's
Down
a replay.
by 9.
Here's a replay.
There's the long three. Pretty much uncontested by Fishman. And then from just about 15 feet. Finds its way through.
There's a nice shot of some of the fans there. They've been completely entertained tonight, Glenn. They, whatever the price of admission is they surely got a lot of enjoyment, a lot of excitement out of tonight's game.
Well, it's been an exciting game, a back and forth contest. 2 teams that are very familiar with each other, as we talked about at the top of the broadcast. They're rivals in the Greater Miami Conference, split their regular season series. Now they're playing familiar foe on a familiar floor. Hamilton also a GMC school. So Princeton out of timeouts. They trail by 9.
And they're going to have to pressure the ball, see if they can't create some turnovers. If they can't get a turnover in the first 5 or so seconds, they're going to have to foul. You got Combs wide open right over here.
It is desperation time indeed for the Vikings. West able to break through some of that pressure, and now the foul. Khalil Davis will pick up number 4.
6 seconds went off the clock before the foul, so.
Mackey go back and shoot another pair. First free throw off the front of the iron, no good. Coming back in, Afari taking the place of Dudokovic.
I would say he might as well not get too comfortable over there on that seat. He'll be back here in a second.
Hitting the back end is Mackey.
It's like West is going to let him get the ball and then try and pressure. Ooh, he almost got away with the travel there.
Jaheim Thomas is going to bring it down. He loses the ball. It's recovered by Afari. Now getting through the pressure is Fishman in the double team. Lakota West.
That's it.
Survives the onslaught, so now they can dribble out the final 25 seconds. Crawford took a swipe at him. Not able to get the foul. Johnson,
they're going to let him play.
Johnson tries as well.
Wow.
And that's pretty much going to do it as we're under 10 seconds. 81-71. Timeout on the floor? Or is that a 10-second call? That's it.
That's it.
So your final in overtime, Lakota West 81, the Princeton Vikings 71. Unfortunately, the season comes to an end for the Princeton Vikings. What a fantastic game, Mike.
Glenn, it was really amazing. Both of these teams, unfortunately, somebody had to lose. Princeton had a great year. West continues on. It was back and forth. Unfortunately for Princeton, they got cold when it mattered the most, and that was in that overtime period.
Leading scorers unofficially for the Firebirds, number 11, Carter Combs with 27. For the Vikings, number 3, Dearius Randall with 20. That, of course, unofficial. Be sure to check GMC website for the official and final statistics. Well, partner, it's been a lot of fun. We hate to see one of our communities go home, but what a game.
It was a lot of fun. Thanks to everybody that came out to help put this together. Always, Glenn, it's a pleasure to do a game with you. We always seem to have a lot of excitement, and tonight didn't let us down. So congratulations to the Lakota West Firebirds.
Thank you to Hamilton High School for hosting us. For my partner, Mike Lorienti, our executive producer, Jason Dudley, and Dean Lowry, and the rest of the crew, I'm Glenn Olson. You've been watching a special edition of High School Hoops on ICRC-TV Sports.